Hello, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa of the Roseville Mystery School and the Golden Ray Center. And today is Sunday, June 23rd. And I know you're probably kind of surprised by the title of this video journal. Drop the heavy shit already. I was actually going to call this video journal Summer Solstice with Sophia, and she had other things in mind. Now, you know, I am starting to be less and less bound by linear time. And I could say that another way, as I am starting to be present more and more in nonlinear time. So as a result, I'm having a real challenge connecting with calendar dates. So for me, Friday was the solstice, Saturday was the full moon in Capricorn, and it wasn't until I went to put the slides together for this video journals that I realized, oops. Thursday, the 20th, was the summer solstice, and Friday, the 21st, was the full moon in Capricorn. Now, I was going to do this journal on Friday because I really did think that Friday was the solstice. That didn't happen. The reason it didn't happen is this. I volunteer Monday and Friday mornings at a local ranch where I get to be in the magnificent presence of a herd of 50 rescue horses. There are also ponies out there. There's this incredibly sweet donkey by the name of Hazel out there. There is a rescued wild boar that was rescued as a piglet by the name of Hamlet. He's so precious and sweet. There's another rescued pig out there. I think her name is Penelope. There's a pack of dogs that have been rescued. There are bunnies that have been rescued. I mean, it's my kind of place. And what I do is I have on this very large property 5 paddocks that I'm in charge of scooping the horse manure and either winging it into the pile of horse manure for those 5 paddocks, depending on my proximity, or getting it into the wheelbarrow, taking the wheelbarrow into the paddock with the horse pile, with the pile of horse manure, and dumping it. Well, I'm in Central Florida, and a couple things. One, the owner of the ranch, I found out on Tuesday, was leaving for Finland for 2 weeks. Her sister lives in Finland. Apparently, her family is of Finnish descent, and so I knew immediately, ooh, she's going to need all hands on deck, because in the summertime, there aren't a lot of volunteers around. So I said, well, if you need me to come every morning this week and next week, I'm happy to do it. So here I am, ready to go every morning, which I'm happy to do because I love being in the presence of these animals. Well, Central Florida, it has rained every morning, every night. 3 of these, 4 of these, no, all 5. All 5 paddocks are dirt, no grass, dirt. So the ground is saturated with the rain. The dirt has turned into mud. The urine is pooling on top of the mud because the ground is saturated. The manure is saturated. in one paddock, there's this huge hay bale, and the donk and the pony eat off of it, and they poop in the hay. That's got to be cleaned out. The hay is saturated. Needless to say, it has been the hardest work that I have done. The physical exertion that I have had to deal with the weight of the manure, the mud, the hay, everything that gets into the wheelbarrow while you're trying to scoop, has been pushing me to the limits of my strength, physical strength, to such an extent that I've literally, seriously have been doing my I am statements. I am the presence of the power and the strength of Sophia-Christ in action within me, pushing this wheelbarrow, because I had nothing left. I was on empty, and I was calling in cosmic forces to help me. And, I have a lot more strength now than I did when I started, and I'm 61, and I'm recovering from numerous autoimmune diseases, and my muscle loss at my age, combined with recovering from these several autoimmune diseases, has left me with little muscle strength, although I have gotten stronger since I started. Anyhow, I just didn't have it in me. So fast forward to Friday morning, and I'm in the paddock, the fourth paddock, with the donk Hazel and with the pony Stewie. And I'm almost done, and the wheelbarrow is loaded up. And really, I'm thinking I really need to split this into 2 wheelbarrows because of the weight, but getting out of their paddock because of the electrical lines, getting out of the front yard because of the gates to keep the dogs in, pushing the wheelbarrow all the way across over behind the round pen to get into the other paddock to dump it. It's like a Herculean effort. So I'm got this full wheelbarrow full of mud, wet manure, wet hay, and I'm on my last little patch, and Stewie, the pony, intentionally backs his butt up and knocks the wheelbarrow over. And half of what was in the wheelbarrow is now on the ground. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Stewie, what are you doing to me? So first thought was, okay, let's get this wheelbarrow tipped back upright. Well, because of the weight, even though half of it was on the ground and because it's in the mud, honestly, I don't even know how long it took me to get that upright, but it felt like trying to turn a car that's on its side over. It was so heavy, took me so long. It was like, I can't even describe the amount of strength that it required that I didn't have, especially after having scooped all these other paddocks already. And I hear this voice, do you need any help? And I'm like, yeah, I need help. Please bring another wheelbarrow. So she brings one, she takes that one out to dump it for me. And I get everything cleaned up from the mess, and I get the rest of it cleaned up. And I'm like, okay, I know that everything in my external reality is a conversation with the cosmos, is a conversation with my inner Sophia-Christ, my inner divine self. What is this message about? And that's when I heard instantly, drop the heavy shit. And I thought to myself, this is insane. This is insane. And it's so apropos because we are still in the window of the Venus Inanna underworld phase of the Venus synodic cycle. And we are on the rise, but we're still here in the Inanna underworld, where you're getting alchemized, transformed, transmuted into a higher vibration of yourself, a whole new manifestation of yourself. And it's like, of course, drop the heavy shit. And I'm here to tell you, no matter how much personal work you have done on yourself, no matter how much you have expanded your field and raised your frequency, this is an eternal process of healing and self-mastery. There is always more heavy shit to drop. So this was incredible to get this message when I was already aware that I'm going to go home and I'm going to do the summer solstice with Sophia video journal. And it's like, nope, we're calling it drop the heavy shit. So I'm on the phone that afternoon with my soul sister, Winsong. And she's like, are you going to do that video today? And I said, I really, really want to get this video done. And I'm spent. I have nothing left in me. I'm exhausted from all of this. And so I'm just going to have to wait until tomorrow, Saturday, to do this, because I have nothing left in me to give. Okay. Fast forward to Saturday, which was yesterday. Get up. I have this amazing experience, which I'm going to share with you in a couple other slides. And I get these slides created, bing, bang, boom, knocked them out. I'm so excited. I do a Christ Heart mentorship reading with a member of the Galactic New Earth Tribe. It's phenomenal. I'm so excited for her. Plan to do this video journal afterwards. And I'm thinking, okay, first I'm going to feed the animals. I have my own little menagerie here. A bunny rescued, 2 cats, Leon. I mean, not Leon. Leon was my cat from when I was younger. He must be here. Romeo and Gherkin, and of course my poodle, Dolce Lucia. So I've got to get them all fed, and I will feed myself. Well, as I'm preparing to my own dinner, I have this brand new jar of olives. I'm Sicilian. We eat a lot of olives. I love olives. But these are just any olives, okay? My Sicilian family is from the Sicilian town known as Partana, famous for olives and olive oil. If you see the Partana brand of olives and olive oil, that's what I get. This was a jar of Partana olives. They're not cheap, okay? Glass jar, trying to get the lid off, so I'm banging it on the counter. I got my little thing, squeegee thing to twist the lid. I'm back hitting it on the bottom to bust the vacuum. And I kid you not, this was like a supernatural event. I'm hitting the bottom of the jar. I do this always. This jar goes shooting out of my hands like a crazy projectile with such force. I mean, it's almost like something magnetic, like pulled it out of my hands. It lands like 3.5 to 4 feet away from me on the ceramic tile kitchen floors and busts. Well, I lost it. I just totally lost it. Had a huge meltdown. yelling at my gurus, yelling at the ascended masters, yelling at whoever out there is listening. Like, come on already. You know, you're telling me to drop the heavy shit, and now you're adding more heavy shit on top of it. And why did this have to happen? What is this all about? And why did it have to be my Partana olives? Why couldn't it have been a mason jar? And I'm like ranting and ranting and ranting. I'm not happy. I'm very displeased. Look at this face. This is not the face of a happy person. Come on, I need some help, really carrying on. Meanwhile, of course, I still have it in my head that I'm going to do this journal. Finally, I'm like, yes, I know I'm yelling. Yes, I know I'm being loud, but you would be too if you were here. And I get the message. Can't do this journal in this kind of energy. And I'm like, really? Is that what this is all about? Because why couldn't you have just said, wait till tomorrow to do the journal? Why did you have to bust my jar of favorite Partana olives? And of course, meanwhile, all of the animals are in the kitchen. So I'm concerned about the fact that glass shatters. Don't want them getting glass in the pads of their paws. So I'm like trying to get them out. There's olive juice everywhere. So it's a big flipping mess to clean up, getting all those shards so that I don't step on them either. I mean, this is why I just had this huge meltdown. It was like, okay, I can't take anymore. So it's like, all right, I'm going to have to let go of doing this journal. I'll do it tomorrow. And I grumpily went over and sat down on the couch after I got it all cleaned up, which took me a long time, which I was very displeased about. Went to bed early because I was, again, exhausted from the extreme energy leak of this huge outburst through this meltdown that I had. And I wake up this morning. I have a beautiful morning. It's like, okay, today we're going to do this journal. I'm looking out the window. There's the sun. I'm having my morning communion with the sun. All of a sudden, I turn around and I hear this bird singing like it's in my kitchen. I turn around and I look out the window, and right on the balcony rail, right where I sit, is this bird serenading me, this cute little fuzzy thing that could fit in the palm of your hand. I don't even know what kind of bird it is. I tried to find out. I don't know if it's a finch, a warbler, or a sparrow. I don't know. I can't seem to find anything that looks just like it. Serenading me with the most beautiful song. And I knew first he was like facing away from me, like towards the sun. The sun was right there. I knew that the sun had sent him to me. Then he turned around and he was facing me, singing directly at me. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then I received the message about what that whole episode of the glass shattering, the famous Partana olives that I'm so obviously attached to, because I'm so obviously attached to my Sicilian heritage. I will get into that message. But all of this has to do with the intense energies of 3 major events that we've had over 8 days from June 14th to June 21st. June 14th was the Mercury superior conjunction. June 20th was the summer solstice, and the June 21st was the full moon in Capricorn. So let's get into this and see what this is about and how these experiences with the cosmos, how my I am presence, my divine self, my inner Sopha-Christ is communicating with me in relationship to these frequencies. I think you're going to find it mind-blowing. I'm living it and I'm finding it mind-blowing. So here we go. First of all, let's focus our awareness on the summer solstice, which was 3 days ago on Thursday, June 20th. So I love the cross quarter points. The cross quarter points are, of course, spring equinox, the summer solstice, the autumn equinox, and the winter solstice. Now, the summer solstice is marked in the sky when the sun in the sky crosses the threshold from Gemini into Cancer and is at that 0-degree point of Cancer. Now, I particularly relate to the solstices for two reasons. One, with the summer solstice and the sun being at 0 degrees of Capricorn, that's closely conjunct my own natal moon, the goddess of Cancer, which is at 5 degrees. So this is always a really thrilling time for me with Capricorn. With the winter solstice, the sun moves to 0 degrees of Capricorn, and my sun is in Capricorn. So that's why I also connect deeply with that. But the summer solstice, in terms of a spiritual, ceremonial experience, is about honoring the light within. And if you've been watching my work, you know that I have for a long time talked about the sacred flame within your heart space. Sophia, through this Leo goddess journey, said, of the Venus synodic cycle, said, please start referring the sacred flame to your inner sun, S-U-N. And so, you know, that inner sun, that divine spark, whatever you want to call it, is our light, our divine light within us. And that's what this summer solstice is all about. Now, I love this excerpt from this article. I've put the link there if you want to go read the whole article about the summer solstice and how it represents a transition from action. And why is it from action? Because we're transitioning now from the spring equinox phase into the summer solstice phase. What marks the spring equinox? When the sun moves into 0 degrees of Aries. And Aries is all about inspired action. So we're transitioning out of that window of the spring equinox, that is a time of action, into this summer solstice phase at 0 degrees of Cancer, which is all about nourishment. And of course, Cancer is also, as an astrological sign, being ruled by the moon, the divine mother, is also about nourishment. So this is why I resonate so keenly with what this woman has written here. She says this transition from action to nourishment is exactly what the sun gives us during long nights of summer, both to our actual crops, but also to the continual journey we travel from darkness to light. Summer reminds us that there is hope in the world, that the light within can spread to the far reaches of the globe and inspire others. We can nurture others just as the sun nurtures us. I love this statement because, again, nurturing is a key word for those Cancer, moon, divine mother energies. And so, we often think of the sun in terms of the divine masculine, the divine father, and many people don't consider, because of the patriarchal programming that has happened on this planet through the dark matrix, that the sacred masculine energies are in their own way also nurturing, just as the sacred feminine energies are nurturing. They just nurture in a different way, and they both nurture us. So I love, we've got the Cancerian energies, the sacred feminine, we've got the sun energies, the sacred masculine, coming together to give us this wholeness in terms of this space, the sacred space that we have to be nurtured within. She continues to say that summer becomes a time to work on ourselves and our ability to be the light and find meaning in our journey. Thus, drop the heavy shit already, right? That's a part of working on yourself so that you can lighten up. Okay. Through honoring this day of light, we energetically set in motion a period of awakening in our consciousness, which lasts all summer until the fall equinox. And when does the fall equinox happen? When the sun comes to the threshold of Libra and is standing at 0 degrees of Libra. So this is really a great article. I encourage you to go read it if you're interested. And this is why consciously engaging through whatever ceremonial practice or spiritual practice you have with the summer solstice is so significant in terms of honoring your own divine light. Now, in this vein, the sun on the 14th of this month, when we were having that Mercury superior conjunction, the first aspect of the 4 in the Mercury synodic cycle, which is when the Mercury and sun come together above the horizon, the sun reminded me and asked me to re-release this body of work that I had received from the sun, from the ancients 12 years ago, and that it was time to re-release this body of wisdom to my audience and into the collective consciousness of humanity. I did do a little introductory video recently explaining my uploading of those 3 videos so that you could kind of understand the backstory of that. The link in the description I will put below, but it never occurred to me at the time because I'm so present focused. Oh yeah, this definitely aligns with this coming summer solstice. And so I love that it was again the sun that requested in a fervent way for me to re-release that material. So I invite you to go look at this video and then the trilogy of that body of work that I put out. Now, let's look at the chart for the summer solstice. This is gonna, right? Mind blown. Okay, here we go. Beautiful chart here. remember that this event happened Thursday, June 20th. And look at this incredible stellium that we have going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 luminary bodies in this power-packed stellium. So I'm going to get into all of this. Notice that it's standing across the sky from a smaller and also powerful stellium of the galactic center, Yeshua, your inner Christ, and Isis, the cosmic Sophia. So let's focus here for a minute. Out the gate, Betelgeuse. Let's talk about Betelgeuse, all right? Here's Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is in the ancient constellation of Orion. Now, back in December, there was an occult of Betelgeuse by this asteroid called, I believe it's Leonora. It is such an incredible event. It only happens like every 100 years or so. I did a whole video journal around the discovery of this that came through with one of the Galactic New Earth Tribe members, who is a quantum healer. She was working with me. This came through and she's like, what is this all about? This is highly significant. And I've said on a few occasions, I'm going to do a video journal around this. I promise I'm going to do a video journal around this. This is the thing you have to understand about my work, which even I myself have had to come to understand in terms of my process. So I've already told you that the moon, as the divine mother, rules Cancer. Well, I've got a strong Cancer energies. I've got my moon, right? The goddess of Cancer, in Cancer, in the 12th house, which is also another divine mother energy of the source field, right? So this is the moon in your chart represents your ancient lineage. This is very much saying that my ancient lineage with the moon in Cancer in the 12th house is the cosmic womb of the divine mother. That's my lineage. Meanwhile, then I've got Cancer on my ascendant. What is the first house all about? Who do you know yourself to be? I know myself to be an embodiment of the divine mother. Then I've got the North Node, right? Where it is that you are evolving to in this lifetime, where it is or how it is that you are going to be allowing your soul mission in this lifetime to unfold, right? The journey that you are taking to allow your soul mission to unfold. My North Node is at 29 degrees of Cancer in the first house. 29 degrees of every sign is a mastery point. And so for me, it's all about evolving myself to this level of self-mastery, knowing myself as this creative, this divine creatrix, this divine cosmic womb through which all things are created. So think about my creative process then in that vein. Think about your own womb space. You don't get pregnant and then birth your baby the next day, right? It's a process. It's a 9-month process where you go through this gestational phases of this baby developing and growing until it is ready to be birthed onto the planet. And that's how my work happens. Now, in the past, I could feel that something was getting ready to be birthed, and I was clueless as to what it was. I could just feel uh, the imminency of it. But now, because my awareness has heightened, now I get, pardon me, I've got Romeo here deciding to take up space. Say hello to everybody, Romeo. Say hello. Yes, he's a love bunny. And now get down. And so all of this on my screen is from him laying on my keyboard. So now, because my awareness has expanded to a higher frequency, now I'm getting the insights. Okay, this is what's going to be created through you. This is what's going to be birthed through you. And my human egoic self is like, let's get this going. Let's, go, go, go. And I'm having to learn that, yeah, I want to get it done today. But because I am an embodiment of the cosmic womb, I create from non-linear time. And I, in my own evolutionary expansion, have had to learn how to shift while in this sacred temple on this planet, how to go from linear time. Ooh, this event's happening on this day. I got to get this journal out on this day, right? To non-linear time of, okay, yeah, I wanted to get it out on Friday. Ooh, we're going to do it Saturday. Now this event has derailed that. And here we are on Sunday. My work takes the time it requires to show up when it's supposed to require. Bringing that back now to this whole discussion about the occult of Betelgeuse and knowing I'm going to be doing a video journal on it. Well, this occult happened in December. What's the big event in December? The winter solstice. Now, where are we? The summer solstice, 6 months later. And who is the informing star for the summer solstice? Betelgeuse. So I'm aware that I needed to get through this stretch of the 6-month period for this body of work around the occult of Betelgeuse to continue to mature within me. And I suspect, but I'm not putting a time frame on it, right? Because I'm dealing with non-linear. It'll happen in the perfect divine timing when it's supposed to. I've learned to trust that, even though sometimes my egoic lower mind's like, I really wanted to do it today. So it may be in the next 3 months that I'm finally able to get that video journal out. So Orion as a constellation is also known as the hunter. And this is what the frequencies of Betelgeuse have to do with. It provides a substantial increase in communication with the energies of a physical nature. What did I say earlier when Stewie, the pony, knocked over my wheelbarrow? I've come to know that everything that's happening in my external reality, no matter how seemingly mundane or, innocuous, is a communication from the cosmos to me. Ooh, isn't that interesting that message about dropping the heavy shit came through on Friday, right? The day after this event, but we know we're in a window of 3 months where Betelgeuse was enabling me to kick up a notch my already increased ability to commune with the energies of nature here on Earth. It gets better. I'm going to give you a couple more examples of how that happened over these past few days. Also, the root chakra is stimulated by the frequencies of Betelgeuse. This is important because it's through the root chakra that you root yourself, ground yourself, connect into the earth, Gaia, into the heart of earth. See where it says here, particularly the earth energies, the root chakra through the earth star chakra, grounding you into the earth, the root chakra being stimulated. And so you can use some I am statements to engage those frequencies of Betelgeuse in this way on a conscious level. I am the presence that is rooted now into Gaia. I am grounded fully into the heart of Gaia. I am fully present in my sacred temple that is grounded on planet Earth. These are some I am statements that you can use and tweak them to your own language. Allow those to inspire other I am statements for you to consciously engage these frequencies. Meanwhile, keep in your awareness that we've got two chakra systems going on. We have a 3D lower chakra system, and we have a 5D plus higher crystalline body chakra system. So where you put your attention, where you put your awareness is where you are. So I would encourage you, because you're not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? We're going to be working more with the crystalline chakra center in the next phase of the Venus synodic cycle, the ascent phase. But you want to really, just like you've got two sides to the coin, work consciously with the 3D chakras of the carbon temple and the 5D plus chakras of the crystalline temple. Okay, so keep that in your awareness. All right, what else about the frequencies of Betelgeuse that we are still being absolutely informed by and being expanded in terms of our frequency by? The ability to perceive the difference between survival connected energies. Okay, survival connected energies. That's the heavy shit that you're being invited to drop. And true spiritual awareness, right? Getting that, ooh, this is a message from the cosmos to me. What is the message that is being sent to me? Let me receive that message. Okay. So this is significantly enhanced. As a result, fears are lessened. Fears are lessened. Fears are, again, the heavy shit, right? The shadow pieces, the heavy shit that you're being invited to let go of and lighten up into, okay? Insight into the source of the fear is strengthened. Now, this is a part of the conversation that I had yesterday with our Galactic New Earth tribe member who was doing her Christ Heart Mentorship program. I know that there is a whole community that's really focused on shadow work and really getting to the root and the source of it. When did this happen? Which lifetime? How did it happen? Why did it happen? And I am here to tell you, while that is a step on the spiritual awakening path, It is not a place to stay. Once you become aware of shadow and how to engage with shadow, how to dance with shadow, then you get to this whole expanded awareness where, there's a block. There is a block that has obviously been created by a fear, which, right, closed off your stream of light force energy flowing through you. You don't need to know it was because my mother did this to me when I was a child, or it's because my husband did this to me in a past life, and that husband was this person in this life. You don't need to know any of that. All you need to know, or all you need to have, is the awareness. Oh, there's a block. And now you consciously choose to clear it. And you've got lots of allies. One of the allies that will help you clear it is Violet Tara and her violet fire. She is the mother of the violet fire that consumes, that dissolves and consumes everything that is less than perfection. So you can invoke Violet Tara and ask her to dissolve and consume all of the energies that are in this block so that you can be liberated from it. It's that simple, okay? All right, so those are the frequencies of Betelgeuse that are coming in through the summer solstice and also the very next day, the full moon in Capricorn, okay? And you'll see that on the Capricorn chart. So coming back to the chart, again, looking, there's Venus. We are in the second phase of the 4 phases of the Venus synodic cycle, which is the Inanna underworld phase on the ascent journey, where we have passed the resurrection point of Venus and the sun in the underworld, and now we're rising up, up, up out of the underworld towards the light. Thus the message, right? Drop the heavy shit. We're going into the light. You can't carry the light with you. Think about the amount of strength that I physically did not have within me to shift that wheelbarrow from its side to stand it upright. And it's on this, it's on this mud that's shifting underneath it as I'm trying to get it upright. You cannot carry the shit, the weight of the shit, into the higher frequencies of the crystalline body, which we are moving into through the ascent journey. Then look who's next. Epona, the Celtic horse goddess. Isn't it interesting that Stewie as a pony, right, as a horse, is the one, and notice that Epona is standing next to Mercury, the cosmic messenger, within 2 degrees, 20 minutes, that Stewie was used in a conscious way. He agreed. Remember, horses carry within them the Christ heart. He stepped up and agreed to help Venus, Epona, Mercury, Betelgeuse, the sun, and the cosmic Sophia standing across the sky from him to deliver the message. So Epona in Cancer has a really beautiful horse medicine. And this medicine is the keepers of the mystery wisdom. So here we have the goddess Demeter. She's an earth goddess, and she's here in her mare-headed goddess form. And what you see is a dolphin here leaping from this hand, and a dove here leaping from this hand. And she is a form of the sacred feminine that is so ancient and mysterious that she was almost lost to history. And what she does is she meets you in the cave of initiation. I love this because what is the Inanna underworld? It is a cave of initiation. It is the shamanic death by choice initiation. And so what she does is she helps us in terms of expanding our consciousness, in terms of reclaiming our power by looking at that heavy shit, right? That was created within our field through the fears of our past traumas, so that we can let them go and re-empower ourselves by reclaiming in that shamanic way the power that we separated ourselves from, that was taken from us, that we unknowingly, unwittingly gave away. So this is huge. And remember, this is all about initiation, and the summer solstice, this time of honoring the light within you, is an initiation, just like each of the other three cross quarter points are. They're all initiations: the spring and autumn equinoxes, the summer and the winter solstice. So let's get back to Mercury, the cosmic messenger, because remember, he had his superior conjunction with the sun, okay, back on the 14th, while they were still in Gemini. Now they're in Cancer 7 days later, but 7 days before this, they were in Gemini. Now, I did a whole video journal on this powerful event called Phenomenal Expansion in Consciousness at today's Mercury Superior Conjunction. I invite you to go back and watch that journal. If you haven't seen it, I invite you to go back and watch it again, even if you have seen it, from this new expanded awareness, from this new level of perception. So there will be the link in the description below. And in that video journal, I had created this slide about unconscious energy blocks. Okay. Here we see the water. Water is an element of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. These are water element signs. Water coming through the pipeline, and what happens? There's a block. Something's blocked it. Or if you're thinking about like a water hose, if you pinch off the water hose, what happens? The water stops coming through. So now this incredible flow of water that was coming through the pipe, that was coming through the hose, which is an energy flow, gets blocked, gets pinched off. And now you can see it's not coming through. So already at the Mercury Superior Conjunction, 7 days before this summer solstice, we were already receiving this cosmic support to clear out these blocks from our multi-dimensional field. This is incredible because we are seeing here with what's happening, with me in terms of what's showing up, a whole nother level of clearance. Clearing, clearing, clearing. Lightening up, lightening up, lightening up. Now, there are other significant aspects here besides this opposition to the galactic center, to your inner Christ, to the cosmic Christ coming in here, okay? You will see that the summer solstice stellium, and specifically the summer solstice itself, is making what's known as an inconjunct to Pluto and the cosmic Christ Osiris in these Aquarian energies. Remember what the Aquarian energies are. They are your multi-dimensional self. They are the quantum field. They are your crystalline light body, your higher mind, the realm of the ascended masters, the realm of your ascended master self. And so the cosmic Christ and Pluto, which helps you to rise from the ashes like the phoenix, right? Rise up from the old self that was being weighed down by the heavy shit into the more enlightened self, because you've dropped the heavy shit, right? Is helping you to rise from that earthbound consciousness of the egoic lower mind into the liberated mind of Christ consciousness. This is huge. And so the effect of an inconjunct is an either or in the shadow. I can either honor the light within me, or I can try to move out of egoic consciousness and hope like heaven that I'm tapping into Christ consciousness, right? That's the either or. And really the power of the inconjunct is allowing yourself to make the shift. It's a paradigm shift from either or to this and that. I can expand myself so that I can hold and embody all of these frequencies so that I am the presence of Christ consciousness and I am the eternal living light of Sopha-Christ, Sopha-Christ, and I am honoring the light, the presence of the light that I am, the presence of the Christ consciousness that I am. So this is huge. This has happened. This has been a huge initiation at this summer solstice. And remember, this goes across a 3-month window where you will be blossoming, right? Once the flower, the bud of the flower opens, it takes a little bit of time for it to blossom. So the bud has been opened, and now watch with fascination, with anticipation, joyful anticipation, as you become aware that you are this enormous, infinite field of the eternal living light and Christ consciousness. Now, notice this. We have got Mars up here making a sextile oh, excuse me, Mercury up here, Mercury, the cosmic messenger, making a sextile to Mars in Taurus. Okay. Remember, Taurus is all about embodiment. Think about Taurus as an energy. Most people associate Taurus with the bull that gets stuck in the rut, right? That's the shadow side. What did I experience in the paddock? The wheelbarrow was stuck in the mud. I couldn't get it lifted up because the mud was shifting and digging a deeper and deeper, hole that wasn't letting me lift up the weight of the wheelbarrow with all of the wet hay manure in mud. Think about a car that gets stuck in mud. What happens? Trying to get out and your wheels start spinning and it goes deeper and deeper, okay? But what is the sacred masculine doing here? He's helping us to move out of that, to move forward with his own fire energy. He's giving us the push to get our momentum out of the rut, right? And how did he manifest himself in my life for me to get the message? I could have been in a paddock where, because we're going back here to Epona now, there were no male horses or ponies. There was only a female horse or a female pony. But no, because of the infinite intelligence of Source, I was in the paddock where there was Stewie, bless his little heart. All the time I've been doing this, he's never done that, where he just backed himself up and knocked that wheelbarrow over on purpose with intention. But that was the sacred masculine working with Epona to deliver that message to me. Now, what I want you to see here, and I didn't put the lines in because it makes it a little more challenging to read, is that here we've got Sedna. We've been talking a lot about Sedna and how she is working to help us be transmuted in from our carbon-based system into our crystalline-based system. So from our carbon-based DNA to our crystalline DNA, from our carbon-based chakra centers to our crystalline chakra centers, from our carbon-based temple to our crystalline rainbow temple, rainbow garment temple. And she's standing here with Jupiter, which just continues to amplify and amplify. And she is making a semi-sextile. They are making a semi-sextile, or Jupiter at almost 6 degrees is making a semi-sextile. And because of the proximity of this conjunction, Sedna's in there too, to these Mars in Taurus energies and to this entire stellium for the summer solstice. And remember what the semi-sextile does. It's the sacred partner. It's the hand in the glove, making sure that you've got what you need for this to unfold within you. And look at where she's located. She's in the 7th house. She and Jupiter in the 7th house. Your whole relationship with them, their relationship to the sacred masculine in Taurus down here in the 6th house, to the stellium of the solstice in the 8th house. This is a whole conscious, equal partnership that's going on behind the scenes through this eclipse season that we're in now of the Aries Libra eclipses and conscious equal partnership. She's helping us to be in this conscious equal partnership with our inner light, with our Christ consciousness. See how she and Jupiter are making a trine. They're in Gemini, a trine from Gemini air element down to Pluto and the cosmic Christ in Aquarius, a path of most allowance. Did I even write that on here? I think I might have overlooked that, but I'm seeing it now, right? She's the one, along with Jupiter, the cosmic guru, and our relationship with them that is enabling us to hear the messages from the cosmic Christ, to hear the messages from Pluto, the cosmic transformer, as we are being lifted into our Christ consciousness. This is phenomenal, phenomenal. We also have a trine going on between the cosmic Sophia in Capricorn and the sacred masculine in Taurus. Remember, the sacred masculine serves and supports the sacred feminine. And so here we've got, the galactic center, our inner Christ, the cosmic Sophia together here in the second house, your tangible and intangible resources. The resources that are available to you as this stellium brings you back into your sovereignty, Sophia in Capricorn, and empowers you in Cancer, that place where you feel safe and protected. And it's okay to be vulnerable because you've got the sacred masculine there holding the space for you to protect you and nurture you while you're being vulnerable, while you're birthing that light within you. And whatever it is that light, which is your divine self, is desiring to create through you as a part of your highest divine plan. I mean, this is just, okay, this is what I'm being shown, especially related to these Aquarian energies and how it connects as in a semi-sextile to the galactic center, Yeshua and Isis standing across from the solstice stellium, and it's got that in conjunct there. What they're showing me is this. I'm not a Trekkie. My parents were Trekkies, so we had to watch what they watched. Okay. And what I'm clear of is they would stand on this platform, right? And they would get beamed up to wherever they were going. And when they were beamed up, what would happen is kind of like, also I'm being shown here that scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory where the little cowboy, that little boy that's the cowboy gets like beamed into these different particles, right? To shoot across, the ethers, and, and then have all the particles get reconnected, reformed as the Star Trek people would end up on whatever planet, and where Cowboy Mike or whatever his name was in Willy Wonka was supposed to end up in the television set. Okay. That's what this summer solstice is doing to us over these 3 months. We're being broken into our quantum particles, and we are going to be reformed at a higher vibrational level when we make the transition from the summer solstice phase into the fall equinox phase. Woo! This is just so, I really thought and believed that I was so exhausted and spent for the rest of the day, all this last week after all this heavy lifting, toting at the ranch, that's why I was wiped out and had nothing left in me. And now I am aware and I know that it was the power of the frequencies of that Mercury superior conjunction. And remember, you want to watch this video so that you know what the power of that is. The power of this summer solstice and the power of the full moon in Capricorn that we're going to watch in just a second is doing to us. So if you've been wiped out too over the past, I don't know, 11 days or so, this is why. And this brings me back to the message that I received this morning about my favorite glass jar of Partana olives that I kid you not. It's not like my hand slipped in a jar, fell. It went shooting out of my hand like somebody was pulling it out of my hands. And of course, what does glass do? It shatters. And why is it a favorite thing? Because you're attached to it. And so let me tell you, you cannot be attached to your 3D earthly life because we're being broken up into these quantum particles. And when we get reconfigured on the other side of being beamed up, the old life, the old paradigm is gone. It's a new life. It's a new paradigm. That's what the message of the shattered glass and why it had to be my Partana olives and not just some mason jar that I drink out of. That's the message that came through. And I realized that because yesterday I started doing these new affirmations, and I'm inviting you to do them too, because remember what I said, wherever you put your attention, there you are. Are you going to keep your attention on the heavy shit, on the blocks, trying to figure out when did it happen? Why did it happen? Who did it to me? No, because that's where you're going to be stuck, spinning your wheels. So the I am statements that I started invoking yesterday is I am the presence of the new earth, and I am the presence of the new heaven. And that's what we will be manifesting when we get all of our little quantum bits put back together on the other side of this summer solstice phase, and we've been beamed up. Now, you could choose to put your awareness and your attention on the old heaven and the old earth, and remember, then that's where you will be. Me, I'm making a different choice, and I'm inviting you to empower yourself by making the same choice that I am making, by consciously choosing. I am the presence of the new heaven, and I am the presence of the new earth. And so that shattered glass jar of my favorite Partana olives is a manifestation of all of that. Isn't it just beautiful? And yes, I had a meltdown, and that's okay, because the meltdown was really related to having to let go of the old paradigm, the old earth, the old Sophia Mona Lisa, right? Because we're attached to them. And wherever your attachments are, you're going to be required to let go of them in order to become fully liberated. All right, let's look at the full moon in Capricorn. Here we are. Now, what you're going to see, because it was the day after the solstice, we've got a lot of the same players involved here, right? So where is the full moon? Well, it's right here. The moon has moved in one day from Sagittarius over the threshold of Capricorn, right? Remember, what's the threshold of Capricorn? The winter solstice point to 1 degree, 7 minutes of Capricorn. And how do we know it's a full moon? Because right across the sky is the sun. And in one day, right, the sun moved from 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Cancer into 1 degree, 7 minutes of Cancer. So there's our full moon. We've got our stelliums, all right? This is the same stellium of the summer solstice. The only subtle difference is this. The day before, on the solstice, Venus was standing between the sun and Epona. Now Venus is standing on the other side of Epona, and between Epona and Mercury has moved up a couple of degrees. Okay, so there we are. And there's Betelgeuse, as I said, also informing this full moon event. And full moon in Capricorn, earth element energies. What are the frequencies of Betelgeuse helping us to do? Helping us to hear, right? What was the, let me go back so I can give you the exact wording. Hold on a second. Oh, to increase our communication with the energies of nature and particularly Earth's, right? Gaia's energies. That's very important because where the full moon in Capricorn is located, you need to be aware that Capricorn is the highest frequency elemental sign in the chart. We start down here at Taurus, a lower frequency that has to do with embodying in our physical bodies. Then we move up a frequency to Virgo, where we start engaging with the earth elementals through ritual and ceremony and sacred service to the sacred feminine. And now here we are up here in Capricorn, the highest frequency of the earth element, ruled by Saturnia, who is a goddess of sovereignty. Gaia is a goddess of sovereignty, having her own ascension experience. And our ascension, it helps her ascension, and her ascension helps our ascension, just like these stars in the cosmos, in these ancient constellations, are helping us. We also inform them. Remember, as above, so below. It's all connected. Okay, so that's the full moon. Notice that we still have over here the galactic center, your inner Christ, at now the 29-degree mastery point of Sagittarius, right? And Isis still the cosmic Sophia at 8 degrees. So the only thing coming into this stellium is the moon. Now, as I said, a lot of this is still very much the same. There is something else that's come in play here. So I'm going to bring your attention back down here to where Mars, the sacred masculine, was at 8 degrees, you know, being very engaged with Mercury. Now he's at 9 and almost 9.5. Mercury's almost at 10. But as he moved forward, he is now closer to the Magdalene, your inner Sophia. And so look here, we've got a trine from the sacred masculine and the Magdalene, your inner Sophia, to Sophia, cosmic Sophia here in Capricorn. So this full moon in Capricorn, remember that the full moons are all about illuminating seeds of consciousness, consciousness fields that have already been planted within your consciousness around where is Isis, the cosmic Sophia. She's in the 12th house. What is the 12th house? I already told you. It's the cosmic womb of Sophia, the one divine creatrix of all life. And she's making that trine down here to the sacred masculine and the Magdalene, your inner Sophia, in the 4th house in Taurus. What are you embodying? You're embodying that womb space where you can feel safe to create, have Sophia create through you, through your inner Sophia, through your inner womb space. And what is the sacred masculine doing? He is holding the space of that sacred container for you to feel and be as vulnerable as you need to be as you're birthing this new creation. You know, once upon a time, husbands and partners were not allowed in the birthing rooms at the hospitals while women were giving birth. And now they are. And what is their role for the woman in their life? Their role is to serve and support her by holding her up when she doesn't have the strength to lift herself up and push, by holding her hand when she needs something to squeeze because the pain is intolerable, by helping her to breathe, by giving her the ice chips. This is sorry. This is what's been happening to us. This is what is happening to us. Now, have you been wiped out, exhausted? Think about a mother that's given birth. She is wiped out. This is why. And it's been intense. As I said, 3 major cosmic activations, initiations within an 8-day period. Imagine being in labor over 8 days. Oh my Lord. I was personally in labor for over 24 hours. My doctor came to me and actually apologized to me and said, you went through what no woman should ever have to go through. This is what's happening to us. And it's thrilling. It is thrilling because look here. Look at where Pluto and Osiris are now at this full moon in Capricorn, which is illuminating the consciousness we've been carrying within us. It's in the 1st house. Now we know ourselves as these resurrected Christ beings of Christ consciousness. I am the embodiment of Christ consciousness. I am the presence of Christ consciousness. And I am blessing all beings everywhere. So let me tell you what happened yesterday morning when I was going to do this journal. I'd had my morning ritual with the sun, And then Dulce Lucia, I needed to take her down to potty. And as I was taking her down, and I'm going to stop the share here so that you can see this clearly, I found a feather in the grass, and I'm going to hold this up and put the feather next to it. This is the feather. Hopefully you can see it, trying to create as much contrast for you to see it. And I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought, what kind of feather is this? I've never seen this feather before. And then, telling you, this is the magic of life. Let me go back to my screens or my slides. Then, as I was contemplating, what kind of feather is this? A bird in the trees above me started singing to me. And I looked up and it was a female cardinal. And you might not be able to see the actual shade of the coloring here, but it is a breast feather. A feather from the breast of a female cardinal. Think about receiving from the summer solstice, right? The light of the sun nurtures us. The Cancerian Divine Mother energies nurturing us. And here's this female cardinal who has gifted me a feather from her breast to embrace me and nurture me. And she's right above me, singing to me to let me know that she was the one that had gifted this feather to me. So I now ask you, from the summer solstice to the full moon in Capricorn, where in your life do you require nurturing from your divine mother, from the inner mother, from any of the goddesses that are divine mother aspects? Where in your life do you require nurturing? Now, I was asking for a message related to this for you because remember, it's a full moon in Capricorn. The solstice is in Cancer. This Cancer Capricorn axis is the path of family, home, and community. Capricorn has many archetypes. The wisdom keepers is one. Another is the grandmothers, right? The elders, the grandmothers. And immediately, this deck of cards that I have came into my mind. And this deck of card is called the Wisdom Keepers Oracle Deck and Inner Guidebook. And so I went and got the deck and I asked for a message from the Wisdom Keepers related to all of these frequencies and especially the full moon in Capricorn frequencies, because you see a lot of the same stuff that was going on in the sky at the solstice is happening at the full moon in Capricorn the next day. It's just that when you cast their charts, they're in different houses. And so it's a different flavor, right? It's like taking vanilla ice cream and adding in the chocolate chips and maybe a little mint. So now you've gone from vanilla ice cream to mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's a different flavor, okay? So let me get the card. I'm gonna pause for a second and pull that up, okay? All right, and now let me stop my share so that I can show it to you on screen. Hold on a second. Okay, stop share. All right, so here are the cards. That's my deck. And let me show you which card came forth. And it's, hopefully you can see it. This beautiful card here. In the deck, this is card number 29, and it's the card of commitment. And I don't know if you can see very well, in her third eye chakra, right up here in her third eye, she has a sun, and in front of the sun is this beautiful bluebird with its wings spread open. And so you can imagine that this is Pluto in Aquarius here at the third eye, right? Illuminating your higher vision. So I'm going to take the time now to read from the inner guidebook that comes with this deck, what this card is about. Now, what you should be aware of is that this woman is very much a student of the gene keys were created by Richard Rudd. And so each one of these cards that she gives us a message for, she also associates with a gene key. So I'm going to tell you the gene key information first. And then what she does is she writes like a story, a life story about the being in the card and what their message is to you. It's a fascinating deck. Okay. So the gene key information, and this is relevant to everything I've been saying, which again is what I love, the synchronicities of the cards that come forward. So in the gene key information from Richard Rudd, it says a clear decision is felt as a quiet and powerful warmth that courses through your whole body. I love that because I'm oftentimes inviting you to drop into your heart and ask yourself, is this right for me? Is that right for me? And to feel the yes coming from your heart space. And for me, it does feel like that, the way he describes it, a quiet and powerful warmth that starts to move through my body is the heart yes. Okay. The gift of this, I guess this is gene key 29 because that's the number on the card. The gift is commitment. The shadow side of this is half-heartedness. Wow. Where does half-heartedness come from? It comes from the heavy shit you're carrying around. Okay. What is the siddha from this, or the city from this? City is a Sanskrit word that means a spiritual power. So the city related to this gene key is devotion. I love that. I love that. This is why I get overwhelmed, because I'm very much what's called on the bhakti yoga path, which is the path of devotion, and the way that devotion manifests through me is, that expression, my cup runneth over, and then the tears come. That's an expression, physical manifestation of my own bhakti, my own devotion. Now, each one of these gene keys has a partner. So the partner to this key 29, which is the gift of communion, is the key. You're gonna love this. Key 30, and the gift of key 30 is lightness. I mean, come on, you can't make this up. And what is the shadow part? Desire. Now, let me just say there's a heart's desire, which is a divine inspiration, and there is egoic desire. So, yeah, if things aren't going your way because you desire them to be a certain way and it's just not happening, that could create some heavy shit that you need to drop so that you can lighten up. Okay. So let me give you the wisdom story of this beautiful woman that she created for this Gene Key 29 about commitment. So this is her story, this woman's story. My parents always called me, quote unquote, the free bird. That was their sweet way of saying I was an unreliable flake. I was always flirting about from romance to romance, place to place, career to career, always starting what I couldn't finish. So when I finally found social work and a wonderful organization that suited me well, everyone was thrilled, including me. I worked there for years. I grew within the organization, loved the population, and felt my life was meaningful. But after 7 years, I found myself overcommitted, burned out, and disengaged. My heart yearned to be somewhere else, doing something more creative. I wanted more space in my life for intimacy. My colleagues and staff had no idea how half-hearted I'd become about the job. I was lying to them, and I was lying to myself. I was also terrified of leaving. They needed me, and I certainly didn't want to risk quitting or failing or seeming unreliable. So I waited and waited. Each time someone dared to quit the agency to go after a dream, I felt jealous, like I was on the sidelines launching other people's happiness while watching mine drift farther and farther away. To top it off, I felt even more trapped. Without me, who would train the new people? Finally, just as I spilled 16 ounces of coffee all over the giant pile of paperwork on my desk, it hit me. The timing would never feel right. I could never guarantee that my next step would be a success. And I had no control over what others thought of me. Suddenly, a warmth ran through my body, and I knew what I had to do. The following day, I gave notice. While I will always cherish my time working in that organization, I have not looked back, not once. I have no regrets. And this is my gift to you. I am here to give you permission to say yes to life, to trust it fully. It is time to hold nothing back. Don't worry about what others think or expect from you. Beware of giving your power away to a teacher, guru, or a system. Fly brave and fly blind as you embark on your path. And remember, few things are less healthy for you than half-heartedness. So whether you are succeeding or failing, do it with a full heart. Stand by your decisions. Trust your in-the-moment guidance. Honor the stream of your experiences and relationships until each cycle reaches its natural completion. Do these things, and there will be no need to worry about the future, for the seed of your dreams lives in your heart of your commitment. It's all about the journey. I just love that. I absolutely Love that. And I want to show you, when I go back to the question, where in your life do you need to be nurtured? And maybe you need to nurture your ability to say yes to life. Many people, women especially, don't even know how to nurture themselves because we're so programmed by our culture and by this dark matrix to nurture others in a way that we are told is nurturing, right? A patriarchal way of nurturing, not an authentic divine mother way of nurturing. So what I would say to you, going back to the horse wisdom of the solstice, right? The keeper of the mysteries, the mare-headed goddess of Demeter in the cave of initiation, is to go back into your own creative womb space. That in itself is nurturing because that's where we feel safe, even if it is vulnerable. You can't create without vulnerability. And so creating a space where you can go within your own cave and discover for yourself what is nurturing for you. For me, what's nurturing for me is, because of all the water influence in my chart, just floating in the ocean or taking a bubble bath with candles or even just standing under a hot shower. That's nurturing. Also, I want to let you know that Rosie Aronson, the creator of this deck, has got this beautiful, trying to show it to you here. It's called the 64 Faces of Awakening coloring book. So hopefully you can see it. And what she's done in this coloring book is she's taken each one of the faces from each of the 64 cards, and she's put them in here to be colored. And so, this is another way to tap into your inner creative space, because if you get crayons or colored pencils or markers, whatever you want to color in coloring books, it allows your mind to sit back and relax, and it takes you into that creative space where you can start to receive what is desiring to come through you. I also have another set of coloring books that are not a part of Rosie Aronson's set. This set of coloring books is done by Deborah Koff, Koff Chapin. And these are called Soul Touch coloring journals. And I have 5 of them. I don't know if that's all she put together, or she may have more. They have gorgeous pictures on the cover. Each one of these has a different feminine theme. Well, I say feminine soul theme. That feels better. Each of them has a different soul theme. You can see, something to color again. This particular journal here is called Listening Within. This would also be a great coloring book to help you tap into your creative space, to receive guidance and messages about what part of yourself is requiring the nurturing energies to be nurtured, right? As you're letting go of the heavy shit and not feeling that as you're letting go of heavy shit, more shit's being piled on, right? That's how I felt last night. This one here is called Opening to Love. This next one is called Creative Awakening. The 4th one here is called Fullness of Life. And this last one here is called Gifts of the Feminine. So again, these are soul touch coloring journals, and they are done by, I'm trying to get the author's name visible to you. I'm having a hard time. Deborah Koff, Koff hyphen Chapin, Chapin. So that was the message that came through from the grandmothers related to the full moon in Capricorn, and related to the question, where in your life do you require nurturing? And I love this little glyph here about the Divine Mother. She who has cared for you through the divine feminine of all mothers that have nurtured you throughout lifetimes. She is the active part of creation, and she appears in the night to care for you and soothe you in her infinite embrace of warmth and love. You are now and forever loved unconditionally. You know, coming back to this word nurture and nurturing, I love this word soothe, because for me, the frequencies of nurturing and soothing are very, very closely resonant. So if you're not able to hear from your higher self what it is that you require to feel nurtured, maybe you could tweak that by asking, what is it that I require to feel soothed? So I offer that to you, and I share very graciously this Wisdom Keepers work that Rosie Aronson, she's a PhD, has put together in conjunction with the Gene Keys information. Now, speaking of the Divine Mother, I want to remind you that we here in the Galactic New Earth Project are working very closely with the Divine Mother through two upcoming events. One is the upcoming eclipse series that will be initiated in September on the Virgo Pisces axis, which is the Sophia-Christ path. That eclipse will be at 29 degrees of Pisces. Remember those water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They have to do with different expressions of the Divine Mother. Pisces, the ruler of the 12th house, is the cosmic womb of the Divine Mother. Remember what Sophia says in the Sophia Code, written by Kaya Ra. I am the one divine creatrix of all life. So I do have a Sopha-Christ mentorship program that was inspired by Sophia to go along with this new eclipse series coming up on the Virgo Pisces axis. These are some of the Divine Mother allies that we will be working with: Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Violet Tara. Since I was inspired to create the Sophia-Christ mentorship program, two other aspects of the Divine Mother have been brought into our awareness as allies for this program, and that is Mary Magdalene and Sedna. So I do invite you to go to my webpage to read all about the Sophia-Christ mentorship program. I will put the link in the description below, and I hope that you feel that yes within your own heart to this program. Is this the next step for you on your journey? And so ask yourself, is this mentorship program for me? And wait to feel that yes. And so I want to thank you for sticking with me through this entire very lengthy description of what I personally have been experiencing in my own communication with source with the cosmic aspects of the Mercury superior conjunction on the 14th, the summer solstice on the 20th, the Capricorn full moon on the 21st. Thank you, thank you, thank you for staying with me through it. And before I go, I just want to, again, very quickly from my heart to yours, offer you this beautiful prayer. May you quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. I love that. And so again, thank you. If this material has been meaningful to you, please give this video journal a thumbs up to like it. Please share it with your community. This is the link to my YouTube channel for the Roseville Mystery School. Please subscribe. Please ring the bell so you'll be notified when my next content comes out. And if you would like to, in some small way, support my sacred service to the sacred feminine, I invite you to buy me a coffee. This is the link to buy me a coffee, and it will be in the description box below. You can do a one-time $1, $5, $10 donation, whatever you're inspired to, and you can set up a monthly small donation if you'd like to do that as well. So until the next time I see you, take good care, sending you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye, and have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.